Today I'm here with John, who heads up the statistics team at Indicio, and we're going to take a closer look at the key challenges on the forecasting front, and also how Indicio has adapted and evolved to meet these challenges. Great to have you here, John.
Thanks for having me.
So let's set the stage. 2023 has seen an economy marked by signs of post-pandemic recovery, with some struggling with its lingering effects. We have supply chain disruptions, labor market imbalances, you name it. High inflation and economic instability as a whole. You've had some very interesting conversations with customers, market intelligence, demand planners, strategy leaders. Have you seen more of a focus on forecasting in terms of handling the return to normalcy?
Yeah, so the last few years, the largest disruption to markets and the economy was, of course, the pandemic. Last year in 2023, we didn't see any new effects caused by the pandemic, but rather we saw, you could say, we needed to handle that the pandemic was in the historical data now and things have changed. To sort of give some more color to this, I'm going to give an example. We worked with a aviation company who wanted to forecast the number of passengers on flights from certain airports. And of course, these numbers were severely impacted when the pandemic hit. But we could also see that the dynamics between the economy and the number of passengers leaving in certain airports also was probably changed forever. We can see that people have started to work more from home, people have much more meetings online, so it's a very different landscape from before the pandemic. And we needed to find a way to model this in a way to create an accurate forecast and in a way which made sense.
So how was this resolved?
So what we did is that we took an indicator of the intensity of infectious diseases around the world. And before, if you looked at that indicator, you could see that before the pandemic, it was quite close to zero and then started to move around quite a bit during the pandemic. We extrapolated that variable forward. So we took some of the, more or less the level before the pandemic and put that forward to extrapolate into the future, making the assumption that we will not see a pandemic in the coming year. With this indicator and the other indicators that we already had from before, the model was able to take into account the anomaly, which was the pandemic, but also model the change in dynamics between the different variables and create quite an accurate forecast going forwards.